So the agenda of today will be the following. We will have the genesis and the 4 years experience that will be explained. And after we will jump into the situation report and the working groups. We will have also after the white paper that has been recently published. And later we will explain some activities that we have run, such as the hospital challenge, the pediatric innovation days and the missions. And we will close with the next steps of i4KIDS-EUROPE and how to be part of it. And as I mentioned, with the Q&A, so if you have some question or some doubts, here we will be to answer it. To present this training capsule, we will have different members of our consortium that will present some milestone in pediatric innovation. We have Arnau Valls from Hospital Sant Joan de Déu, Barcelona. We have myself, Charlotte Berthaud from EIT Health Spain. We will have Guillem Figueras from Inveniam Group and Ilona Platonova from the Children's University Hospital of Latvia. So to start, without saying more, I will leave the floor to Arnau.
Thank you, Charlotte, and thank you for this introduction. Shall I take control of the presentation?
Yes, sure.
Okay. So first, just to say that thank you all for connecting today. I am very excited to be able to be part of this 12 training capsule to explain what's been the project in these two years and a little bit of history on how we get here. We hope that in this next hour, 45 minutes, we will be able to transmit all the efforts put beyond and all the opportunities still to come. So for that, I'm going to start by explaining the genesis and our motive for i4KIDS. And I would like to start by why we do what we do. You know that children in general, it's a population that is believed to be healthy. That's a good thing. Normally they are healthy, but those that are not healthy enough, they represent an underserved population. Although they represent the 25% of our population, or 25% of our population, and as you know, our health starts from the day that we come to life, to this world. So the health of our pediatric and maternity, so the moment of birth and gestation, it's key for a long life of healthy individuals. And that's why we believe so much that we need to make an impact in this population to ensure that they have access to the best treatments and to the best diagnosis. But reality is otherwise. What we see is that nowadays, the total investment in capital investment in new products into the market for pediatric patients, it's only 1.6% of the venture capital of the whole investment that life sciences receive. Only 1.6% is in pediatrics. Also, the mean number of approved medical devices every year for children aged between -9 months to 18 years old, it's 14%, which is way beyond the 25% that this population represents. And that impacts directly on the amount of products that our clinicians and that the patients and the parents have available in their daily day. And also, what we see is that because this lack of products into the market, 50% of medicines in pediatric are prescribed off-label. That means that they have not been designed, tested, and validated for these crucial populations, and that it relies on the expertise of each clinician to define the dosage that each patient needs, but also, of course, with some risk. So what we have, it's a vulnerable and underserved population that will be our future, and we have to focus on them to try to have, as I said before, a stronger society. Moreover, if we focus on rare diseases, we see that 80% of them have a genetic origin. That means that they affect children and they start from the moment of birth. This population, the rare diseases that 80% affects pediatrics, will have a 5 years mean time for a diagnosis. Imagine being 5 years without knowing what's going on with your health. And from those that are diagnosed, only 95% will only 5%, sorry, will have a treatment. So 95% will not have a treatment. So huge problem. I think this can be summarized, this impact, in one sentence that Janine from Stanford Impact Project defined some years ago, and that I think explains very well the focus that our society is having in terms of helping our pediatric population. With all that in this situation, in 2020, we've created the foundation, the genesis of i4KIDS. We started at a regional level from Sant Joan de Déu Barcelona Children's Hospital to build a hub that was funded and started thanks to the funds of the regional Generalitat of Catalunya funds that allowed for the starting of this network, a regional network of 32 top-level research entities that includes hospitals, universities, and R&D centers that collaborate also with industry, and 93 research groups. What we did in from 2020 when we built that. So basically what we focused is on structuring programs focused on public-private relationship with industry that focus on unmet needs, so challenges that we've identified and that we can co-create with industry to have the resources and the solutions to bring these solutions to the market, but always responding to clear unmet needs that we've identified from the bedside. The second, a program focused more on entrepreneurs and on startups to help accelerate and navigate the complex ecosystem of pediatric innovation, which have certain particularities in terms of regulation, in terms of market access, funding, and impact. And that's why it is important to have a tailored follow up with them and help those ventures navigate this ecosystem. Also with hospitals, we have a group of hospitals, and what we see is that we share common challenges. So bringing the expertise together in pediatrics helps identify needs that we all have, and then to try to bring together the ecosystem. This have led us to some good results during these years. As you can see here, and we've identified more than 425 projects in pediatrics and maternity health, and we've been working to accelerate them. But that was not enough. What we found is that alone we cannot get those solutions into the market and do the most to change this paradigm, to make a paradigm shift in the arrival of new solutions into the market for this underserved population as it is pediatrics and maternity health. We all, the pediatric hospitals in Europe, share the same fundamental problems all together. We have a fragmented and unbalanced ecosystem in Europe and more in pediatrics. We have a lack of investment for the perception that this population is a small market. That is not always the case, and that there's not a business case, that it is not always the case, as you will see later, and that we have a complex regulatory pathway that makes it more difficult. Also, and that's a reality, we have small numbers, but going together, they are not so small. If we get all the main pediatric hospitals in Europe together, they are not so small. And the fundamental things that moved us to try to open and try to look for partners to try to change this paradigm was the fact that we've identified that we all share similar unmet needs. All pediatric hospitals have the same problems, and we all are working sometimes on the same parallel solutions. So we found that there's solutions to problems that we have that are being developed in other countries like Germany, Italy, Latvia, Finland, Denmark, or UK, or also, of course, United States. So what we truly and deeply believe is that if we come together at the end, we will be stronger. And what we need then is to generate an ecosystem, a European ecosystem that could go and fight for these rights. That's why we've created and promoted and look for partners to promote the creation of i4KIDS Europe. In 2022, 2 years ago, that was a project that shared all the same mission, but that was thanks to funding from the European Commission that we could start and have the seed funding to start this project with a group of partners, with Kids Foundation from Poland, Rikshospitalet from Denmark, Children's University Hospital in Latvia, the EIT Health, the HUS Hospital in Finland, and Inveniam, but also with the support of the other hospitals from the European Children's Hospital Organization and beyond. A lot of people that have collaborated during these 2 years to make the project possible. But what's the project exactly about? And that's what I'm going to explain now. The first thing is that beyond these institutions, we had a foundational, amazing group of people that pushed and had all the same vision and pushed to make it happen. Those are the founder members of the i4KIDS Europe project. And we also counted with a great advisory board that goes with this amazing group of acknowledged people that also help with their insights, and also other people that are not on this list when we prepared the advisory board at the beginning. What's the objective of the i4KIDS Europe? Basically, to create an efficient, perdurable, and inclusive European pediatric innovation ecosystem that integrates all the stakeholders from emerging, moderate, and strong innovation countries in EU to offer the necessary services, programs, and knowledge to capacitate European countries to make a paradigm change in pediatric innovation. This was a 2-year project that had a common long-term goal of, let me see if I can, a long-term goal of reinforcing the innovation aspect and capacity of Europe, translating the research, the good research, into good innovation that can have an impact, improve the innovation capacities of the member states, and equalize those innovation regions with those emerging regions with similar capacities, and enable them to engage in joint efforts to make this sustainable with also an economic impact and growth, and try to reduce the innovation divide that exists in Europe. That's the long-term goal that we have. We did it and structured it in this 2-year project in a methodology that started in year 1 by focusing on diagnosing and setting the network of where we stand in terms of pediatric innovation. The second year focused more on actions, on trying to create working groups beyond the core group of the i4KIDS Europe, bringing together expertise from abroad to try to think on which specific actions we could start doing. And also focusing on then what's going to happen after the project, so sustainability and governance and dissemination of the results. During these 2 years, we had accomplished all the objectives that we had at the beginning. We could diagnose the state of pediatric innovation in Europe with a situation report that now it's going to be presented. Second, we built a European interconnected pediatric innovation ecosystem with a committed network with fortnightly meetings and a common agenda, an online platform, but also with a common a mission and a common goals. Second, we enhanced the capacities of the pediatric innovation actors and the knowledge by doing more than 18 training capsules. Today we are doing the 12th of the second year, focused on giving and providing information that is and could be of interest for all a pediatric ecosystem. And bringing into Europe the Pediatric Innovation Days that we will also present later. So one day focused in the pediatric innovation that we can come all together in the same place for one day. Also, we defined action plans and a sustainability plan to go beyond with the publication of the white paper and the sustainability plan. But I'm not going to extend on that, and I would like to pass the word to my colleagues, because as you will see, we have gone beyond expectations, and we hope to continue thriving this momentum that we've created with as much new partners that want to join to continue generating a change in pediatric innovation. I'm going to pass the word to Guillem from Inveniam that will start presenting some of the results in more detail.
Thank you, Arnau. Charlotte, I will take control of the presentation now. Let me see if I can pass the slides.
Yeah.
I don't know, Charlotte,
I
maybe...
think go 2 slides more and it should work.
Okay.
Okay, just 1 second. I will.
Yeah, if you can...
I will leave and do it again.
I can do it, Charlotte. I have it here.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm here. Perfect. Okay, now it should work.
Okay, great. Let me try again. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Charlotte. Well, thank you, Arnau. Well, I'm Guillem Figueras from Inveniam Group, a consulting firm working as a partner in i4KIDS-EUROPE. And as Arnau was saying, the first milestone of the i4KIDS-EUROPE consortium was to diagnose the gaps, identify the barriers in the pediatric innovation ecosystem. So, but how we analyze this current situation? So as part of this effort, in March 2024, we published the European Pediatric Innovation Situation Report and Needs of Analysis, which the main goal of this report was to answer one key question. How can we establish a pediatric innovation ecosystem in the EU that fosters innovation while considering the current barriers? To do so, we conducted a European-wide questionnaire with 134 participants from the pediatric ecosystem from most of the 27 EU member states. And we also complemented with 25 in-depth interviews with key stakeholders in the pediatric innovation. Our goal with these actions was to assess how the 8 main barriers that are hindering the... It seems that the presentation... here. The 8 main barriers that are hindering innovation, how these barriers are affecting different stakeholders in the ecosystem across different regions of the EU. So one of the most striking findings of this situation report was that regions with high innovation performance experience different barriers than regions with lower innovation performance. Even though, as you see in this graphic shows how the participants rank the level of constraint imposed by the different barriers that are affecting pediatric innovation in Europe. So the first key takeaway that we can take from the report is that across all regions in Europe, it's believed that financial and regulatory barriers has the highest impact on innovation. Nevertheless, it's important to mention that regions in Europe with lower innovation performance tend to believe that it's human capital and infrastructure that have the highest of impacts, while regions in Europe with a high innovation performance believe that it is adoption barriers that have the highest of the impact. So we're seeing these differences. And despite that the results of the responses from the participants was quite wide and was good, there was a strong consensus on the need for further exploration of these results. That's why we came out with the working groups, which the main goal is to supplement the findings from the situation report while expanding also the geographic scope of the research, and also find the root of the challenges and design practical solutions to overcome these challenges. So with this framework in mind, we moved from the 8 barriers identified to 4 working groups to tackle them, being the first one, the funding available and roadmap, regulatory pathways, commercial adoption and reimbursements, and last but not least, human infrastructure resources. So with these 4 working groups with experts in the participant of the ecosystem, we have these groups were composed by 33 different organizations from agencies, companies, healthcare providers, investors, and research centers from 14 different countries from Europe and from outside Europe. And this diverse participation was crucial to identify innovative solutions across different regions and all the European ecosystem. So how we did it? Well, the working group followed a 2 online session structure, transitioning from identifying the challenges to proposing specific solutions. We use online platforms as Teams and Miro to work together. And we have a first session where it was presented the topic, also the situation report, and the experts, and the challenges were discussed among them. And then we use the outcomes of the first session in the second session to discuss potential solutions to the identified challenges. This approach allows us to transform current challenges into potential actionable strategies to advance in pediatric innovation. So this situation report and the working groups were this first step, as Arnau was saying in his presentation, to develop targeted solutions that could help bridge the gap and foster innovation in the pediatric innovation ecosystem. Thank you.
Thank you a lot, Guillem, and thank you because it leaves me the floor to follow with the white paper. So this i4KIDS white paper has been published recently in January, and it takes all the insight from this 2 years project based on the initial report and the working groups that has been commented by Guillem. We took all these insights and we organized it around 2 main sections. The first one was about the diagnosis. So this white paper provides a general view of the current landscapes and gaps that exist in pediatric innovation. And it is mainly focused on understanding the availability in medicine or medical devices in the EU compared to other ecosystems. And the second part is really a call to action that is based on the outcomes of these experts working groups, understanding deeply the challenges of financial, regulation, commercialization, and human factors that are existing. So we complemented that with some successful initiative and a recommendation from these experts with what we have created a roadmap that I will present you now, addressed to the European decision maker to really leverage and implement new measures to boost pediatric innovation in Europe. So that being said, the state of pediatric innovation in Europe, the main issue is on the lack of specific solution for children. So we highlight in this white paper that there are some efforts that have been done in having new medicine with the increase of clinical trials, but it's still kind of slow with available medicines that increase only by 5-10%. And pediatric medicine approved 5 years later than adult medicine. And we saw that the main gap were in medical devices with devices still being adapted by clinicians from adult solution. It is the same for rare disease medical devices. And maybe we can highlight that in the US, it is approved 10 years later than adult medical devices, which is huge. So with all of that, we decided that to publish this white paper and having a real call for action to take decision and really take some key actions that could help concretely pediatric innovation. So the first point, as Guillem highlighted, were the funding, which is a main challenge for leaders in moderate innovation region. So the gap in funding is clear with only 2 calls for pediatrics that have been published in 2024, with the private funding critically low. And we saw that there was a real need to shift the mindset towards impact funding to have a real impact on the society. So proposal here come from a best practice or success case in the US, which is a FDA's Pediatric Device Consortium. So the FDA provide each 5 years, they select a consortium of 5 hospitals, and they gave them funding to develop medical devices for children, where they can really provide solution and support to startups, and it is really useful. So a proposal here will be to have the same mechanism in European Union with 5 hospitals from different countries that could benefit from such a mechanism. And the second point is that there is a really low visibility of pediatric success case currently, and it makes really difficult for startup to convince investor to get their first investment because they don't benefit from other cases. And for that, our recommendation is to build something similar to the Patient Innovation Platform, which is a collaborative platform that could connect patients and clinicians that have real needs in children health with entrepreneurs or investors, and take together, have a vision of what is working and have visibility of what are the success case. So here you can see the financial roadmap. So at short term, we think it will be really beneficial to have this platform really focus on the patient-centered solution. At midterm, we propose to have a public initiative such as the PDC in the US to really transform the pediatric health innovation. And on long term, we think that there will be this need to shift the mindset towards impact funding with impact funds that could be allied with pediatric solutions. So if I jump to the regulation, which was the second challenge for all innovation regions, the first challenges was the transition from the MDD to the MDR regulation, really put pediatric solution at risk. So this challenge comes from the fact that the MDR regulation, which does not authorize off-label data, requires that solution previously approved undergo a new certification with a new assessment. But the issue is that many companies or startups lack the required data. And as this process is really expensive for manufacturer, it has led to the withdrawal of essential pediatric devices from the market. And once this device is rejected, it's flagged, and there is no alternative to take it again to the market. So this one is a huge challenge, and there is also the lack of incentives due to the diverse age groups in in the pediatric solutions, there is a need for different tailored solutions, and they are not existing currently. So here, also in the US, the best practice was the FDA's breakthrough therapy designation. So this case is a fast-track pathways for medicine to approve medicines that demonstrate a really good improvement over existing therapies, and this solution benefit from a faster access to the market, so it can go faster to the patient. So here you can see our recommendation on the regulation. So here we focus on short term to have a specific tag for public databases. We saw when we were preparing this white paper that it's not easy to search and track solution with pediatric indication. So with this specific tag, it could help everyone to have a better vision on what is happening. And here on the long term, it will be to have a pan-European registry to collect real-world data from the use of off-label devices in pediatrics to really have a view of what is going on. And it could be assessed by an expert pediatric panel and provide a good data of the unmet needs existing in pediatrics. So regarding commercialization, here we have a good news. In this white paper, we identified 188 startups that are working in pediatric innovation in Europe. We saw that these numbers per million kids is, they have twice the number we have in the US. And when it's compared to Israel, it's really low. So that's why there is a real need for support. And we also had some difficulty to identify them. So we don't know how they scale up later, and that's why there is also a need for the tag that has been mentioned. Another point on the commercialization that has been mentioned as a really challenge for more leaders and strong innovation regions. They are struggling with that, mainly because there is a data gaps of off-label harms the commercial interest. So as there is a lack of real-world data to support the unmet needs of children, it seems that the pediatric population has a low clinical needs, and it reflects with a lower investment and interest from the industry. And another challenge that has been also mentioned by the experts, whereas that the high development curves for pediatric solutions that need to be tailored for each needs are not reflected in the reimbursements and are usually lower than adult solution. So this aspect really disincentivizes companies to invest in pediatrics. A good practice from the US is a US Rare Pediatric Disease Priority Review Voucher, which is a long name for interesting initiatives that really they offer a voucher to the pharmaceutical companies that invest in R&D for rare pediatric disease, with the solution either to have a priority review for a drug or receive a financial incentive. So it's something that could be done also at European level to really incentivize investment from companies and manufacturers. So our roadmap on the market side will be really on the incentives. Some things that could be done will to be strengthened public-private collaboration with a European open innovation to have new solutions. And there is also this certified for care. Many countries from emerging region mention that So their startup have really difficulty to be adopted into Birth Trust within a hospital, so there could be a certified startup label that could be launched with a pilot to see if it helps to improve the adoption of their solution within children's hospital. And last but not least, on the human side, which has been, which appears as a really important challenge for emerging innovation region, they suffer from a lack of innovation department in their children's hospital because they have a limited position dedicated to innovation, so they don't have time to dedicate. And on top of that, their healthcare provider don't have enough training to develop an innovation mindset. So for that, the i4KIDS-EUROPE hospital could help to be in touch with them to have access to their network and to share best practices. And here we also share the i4KIDS-EUROPE training capsules that could help on the training side, as well as the EIT health education programs that are focused on, some of them are focused on healthcare providers. So here are some of the important points on the human side. But without extending more, I really encourage you to download the white papers that you can see here on the QR code. Here you will have access to all the recommendations we propose on pediatric innovation. You could read, like, with some time and with less information, all these action roadmaps that we propose, and have a better view on the state of pediatric innovation in Europe. So please don't hesitate to have it. We will also send the link in the chat if you haven't the opportunity to read it. And yeah, to finish this white paper section with a good point, maybe you're still thinking why investing in pediatry is necessary to build a healthier society tomorrow. Many have the perception that the pediatric market is too small, but the reality is that there is a growing market demand with 25% of the global population that are children, and are in need for specialized pediatric treatments and medical devices tailored to children's needs. The second point is that children are not sick. There are huge unmet needs for children, with more than 6,000 rare diseases existing. So it's an important opportunity for breakthrough and market leadership. The third aspect is that regulatory path is too long and risky. In the white paper, we deep dive that there are regulatory incentives existing in Europe, and it is increasing every time. So I encourage you to read it and see which kind of market exclusivity are existing. The fourth point is that pediatric project will not translate into adult solution. So usually it is often easier to adapt development and regulatory from kids to adult application than the other way around. But there is a possibility, like a huge possibility, to have a lifelong brand loyalty, for example. And finally, as we mentioned, there is no visibility of success cases. But in fact, there are many startups. We mentioned 188 startups in pediatrics, and a lot of involvement from final users, institutions, and networks as i4KIDS-EUROPE. So there are huge opportunities on this side to be taken. So if you want more information, don't hesitate to deep dive in the white paper. And I will leave the floor to Ilona.
And I will be talking about the events which we are hosting to get more attention. So I'll get also the request for the controlling the slides. Charlotte, can I take them now? Yeah. And so in 2023, we had Paediatric Innovation Day in Warsaw, which gathered more than 300 attendees, many in person and also online. We try to do it with most of our events, which we organize within this project, that we also share a digital recording of events, so you can also later look. And it's very important to meet for people on in person, because we invite to these events both public service, private medical people, innovators, and it allows to spark new collaborations, new ideas. And we organized that both in 2023 and also in 2024, which I will tell more in detail. Okay, let's go. Yes. So in 2024, we decided that also through the Paediatric Innovation Day, we will have a hospital challenge program. So we will open several innovations for startup teams to apply, so we can provide them more visibility. As we just mentioned, it's very important that we talk about it with them. And so how did we do that? We actually went through another design thinking process with conducting interviews with leading children's hospital to understand the primary challenges. Then we facilitated individual work sessions within hospitals to define more specific process-related issues. We organized collaborative sessions and finalized with top 3 areas brought in front of leaders of the hospitals, of children in hospitals board, a meeting in Riga, which we had in May last year. And so we had as 3 main challenges: improving clinical workflows, high-risk medication monitoring, and appointment efficiency. We had fantastic startups which applied, but we still believe that these 3 topics are and will be relevant for our hospitals also in the future. So we can still continue sharing that these are several challenges which children's hospitals have, and which can provide opportunity for startups to develop new solutions to improve the pediatric care. And we were very happy that we had a lot of application, and actually 6 teams came to Riga and pitched their solutions. And one of them, Sensilia, got 5,000 prize to develop their solution in the hospital, and they had consulting as well as the possibility to work through certain hospitals in Europe. Before having the Paediatric Innovation Day, we also organized the Mission Day. You see a group of people which learned to more about each other, but also about the innovation ecosystem in particular country. Such Mission Day took also place in Poland before the Paediatric Innovation Day. And this one picture is from Riga, where we invited in our hospital's premises, where we celebrated 125th anniversary of our hospital, which is growing and improving the pediatric care. We shared both public sector experiences as well as startups, which we had in Latvia, how they work through, and also about how do we work with innovations in our hospital, which I think allowed us to see a bit different the challenges we have. And of course, it ended up with Paediatric Innovation Day in Riga on 27th of September last year. The recording also is publicly available on YouTube. But we had more than 130 people in person and much more online. We had discussions with CEOs. We had inspiring speakers from UK and other countries. And now I will give floor to Arnau to talk more about the next steps.
Ilona, thank you for that. You've seen now at a glance what's been these 2 years of strong work in the Paediatric European project to set the basis for what's i4KIDS-EUROPE project that we hope that can extend on the next years. So for the next years, we hope that we can continue fighting for children's rights. We have now a clear action plan through the white paper, and we've done a clear analysis of where we stand in terms of competitiveness and availability of solutions into the market for kids and and pediatric patients. With that, we hope that this white paper, it's not just a paper and publication, but can become an outreach tool and an action plan that we would like to develop during all this next year, together with presentations to the European Medical Agency and the European Commission, where we already have a space to go present the results of this work. Also, we will continue with the capacity building efforts with our monthly training capsules. So stay in tune if you want to follow on with those training capsules. You can also subscribe to the newsletter or follow our website. Also, you can review all the training capsules that have been done these last years in the YouTube channel that we have. Moreover, we want to continue nurturing the network and this knowledge sharing in between hospitals and regions. That's why we continue having regular internal meetings, exchange of knowledge and expertise, also collaborative programs, and searching for new funding opportunities together. So if you have innovative ideas in pediatrics, you really want to continue making a change or bring your knowledge, don't hesitate to reach out so that we can see how can we collaborate and continue making a change in pediatrics. And finally, save the date. We have 2 more Pediatric Innovation Days already set. This new year, it's going to be in Barcelona in the 20th of November, so you can save the date in your agendas. As always, we will have on the 19th, the day before, a mission. So to all those coming from abroad, show you the vibrant ecosystem of Barcelona and Catalonia in terms of biosciences, not only in pediatrics, but in general in research and innovation in health and biosciences. And in 2026, our colleagues from Finland will be the hosts in Helsinki. So we are proud to continue having this 4 days, so 2 in 2025 and 2 in 2026, to gather together and continue thinking on how to make a change in pediatric in the future. So we hope that you've enjoyed the journey of today, in which we showed what's been these years of i4KIDS Europe, the amazing work done by all the people behind that. I would like now to stop for a moment and thanks each and every one of you that have really put efforts, time, and thinking a lot and deeply on this project, all with the same mission of making a difference for kids in Europe. If you want to follow us, you have here all the information on how to follow us, and also a QR code to our website, where you have also all the contact information if you want to get in contact with us. So without further ado, I pass the word again to Charlotte for the next and last part of the event of today.
Yes, thank you, Arnau. Well, what I propose is that we open the Q&A. So if you have any comments, if you want to talk, or if you have any question, please open your mic or write in the chat if you prefer.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, excellent. Thank you very much for the presentation. I would like to ask that you had an opening project of i4KIDS innovation or something like that last year, and this mini call was closed in January. So I applied for it. I thought that it is a way to get contacted with you. Can you update us on this call, or what was the intention, or something about it? I would like to hear. Okay, thanks.
Great. So thank you for the question and the interest. I guess you talk about Impact for Kids. So Impact for Kids, it's a program that was going beyond what was established as the main activities here. And the objective of this program was to connect US and EU. That we found that in US, Impact One Biodesign program that is led by Stanford Biodesign, they share a lot of challenges and vision on also our challenges and an approach that we have to pediatric innovation here in i4KIDS. So that's why we've created this program that it's a 6 month acceleration program focused on those companies that are looking for defining the strategy in TRLs between 3 and 6, defining the strategy to also take into account how to be established or develop their activities as in US or in EU. So we bring together experts from both ecosystems with the idea of helping those projects connect with the respective ecosystems and also to define better the market access regulatory and strategy, reimbursement strategies that, as you know, well, it's quite different and there's specific opportunities for pediatrics in both ecosystems that if you are not really on it, it's very difficult to get. So where we stand now? So we closed the receiving of proposals. We are very happy because we received almost 80 proposal of projects. We will only be able to select 6, 3 from US, 3 from EU, so 6 winners. And now we are closing the evaluation. So, well, in fact, it's closed already. So we hope that we can inform you this same week of who is being selected. You know that we closed on the 5th of February, sorry, and we asked for these 2 weeks to do the evaluation with external partners and discuss who will be the six winners. So I cannot tell any more than that because all the participants will receive an email with the results on the next hours or day. But said that, if you have interest on connecting with us, you have seen the contact of the consortium and yeah, you can contact and see if there's an opportunity for collaboration beyond the program.
Okay. Thank you very much.
So I see there is an additional question in the chat. I was curious if there are joint business medicine types of degree in European university, just like in the US.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure. I know that there's I don't have the sufficient information to answer this question, but I know that here, so I know about what you're talking about in the US. I'm not sure if there is a similar thing here in Europe. I don't know of any in Spain. I know about master degrees or postgraduate degrees, but not a joint degree as it happens in the US. I don't know if anyone, even on the audience, have maybe more information than I do and can answer.
Well, I'm not sure you will get an answer, but if there is someone that has the answer, you can put it in the chat. Is there any other question or comments? If there isn't, I will take advantage to share with you the link of the training capsules that we have done. So as we mentioned, this one is the last one of a series of 12 funded training capsules that we have. So you can find here different topics that we had, such as the implementation and adoption of innovation in hospitals. We had masterclass on funding of startup in pediatrics, on digital devices, regulation. And we also have like the first-hand experience of startups in pediatrics or spin-off, for example. So here you have the link. We will put it in the chat. So if you want to see all of them, they are available in YouTube, as this one that will be part of it and will be the last one of this series. But it won't be the last one of all training capsule, because another one is already announced for March 27. It will be on clinical evaluation of orphan medical devices on EU regulatory guidance, and will be presented by Dr. McGowan. So stay tuned for the registration link. It will be published soon. And I don't know if there is another question. Well, if there is no other question, thank you to everyone. Thank you to all the i4KIDS-EUROPE consortium for participating and for all the work. Stay tuned to the i4KIDS LinkedIn as well, which is really active and where you can really follow all the activities. And yes, it has been a pleasure. If there is nothing more, I wish you a nice afternoon. Thank you for your attendance.